artists. Welcome back to Art at Home with Mrs. Kellogg. Today we're going to celebrate fall by creating leaf art. We're going to use some elements of art and one really important principle of design. Now, meet me over at my workspace and I'm going to tell you more about the lesson and the materials you will need. Here are some examples of the leaf art that we're going to create today. Now, what I love about this lesson is you're going to have a lot of options, because if you want, you can create just one leaf. This is an example of an oak leaf, and you could just create a black and white oak leaf if you'd like. So you could use the white of the paper and the marker, or you could use color. You could even do a black and white leaf with a colored background. So the choice is up to you. Or the other option is you could create a variety of different leaves and add color to them. And the other thing I want to tell you about is next to this video, you're going to find a link, and that link will take you to leaf templates. So you can use the leaf template as a reference picture to draw from, or you could cut out those leaf templates and use them as actual templates. But I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite options is going on a nature walk. So for these projects, I went on a nature walk and I collected my own leaves. So I'm going to show you what some of those leaves look like. So here's an example of a maple leaf. This was a smoke tree leaf. And I even have, I took a leaf off a fern plant. Okay, so you can collect a variety of different leaves and use those as templates, or what I think is more exciting is to actually draw from life, meaning that you use the leaf as the model and you draw from that. Now, let me tell you what other materials you will need. Now, the other materials you're going to need are a mat or a newspaper, so you don't get your art supplies on your table. You want to make sure that you have paper, so you could use a larger size paper or smaller size paper, that's up to you. And I like tracing my leaves with a fine tip Sharpie marker, but you could also use a black colored pencil. And that brings me to color, because I'm going to use colored pencils for this project. But remember, you could use crayons or markers if you have those. And I'm going to start out drawing the leaves, so I really want to have my pencils handy, and an eraser, and my pencil sharpener. Now, if you decide to cut out those templates, you're also going to need a scissors, so make sure you have a scissors close by as well. So those are the supplies you'll need for this project. So this would be a good time for you to pause the video and gather your supplies, or go on that nature walk and get those leaves, and I'll meet you back here and we'll get right to work. Did you get your materials? Great. Then let's get started. Okay, here are the two examples of our leaf art. So the first thing that I'm going to do is start to draw my leaves. You have the option of, for example, placing the leaf down and using it as a template. So this is how you would do that. So again, I just want to get the big shape. Remember, we're going to start with line and shape first. So those are our elements of art that we're going to use, line and shape. So now I have my basic shape. So so you can use it as your template, then look at it. You can look at some of the lines that you might want to put in. So I noticed they have, the maple leaf has veins, so I want to get those in. Okay, and later on I'm going to be adding design to this. So I just want to stick with my big shapes in the beginning. So the other option is to draw from life. So for example, since I want to have a bunch of different leaves on my paper, I'm going to start turning my paper, and then I'm going to draw from life. So when I draw from life, I look more actually at the object that I'm drawing, than my paper. And always look at those triangles in between. That's very helpful. So again, you have options. You could use the template as a reference picture on that link that I've provided next to the video. Or you could cut out those leaves from the template and actually use it as a template. Or again, you can draw from life. I'm going to continue on like this, designing my picture. Now I finished my leaf drawing, so it's time to trace. So I'm going to trace with my black Sharpie marker, and as you notice, I've overlapped some leaves, and some of the leaves I actually just drew from my imagination. So again, that idea of shape is very helpful. See how I used a triangle and an oval. See, here is a triangle, triangle. So look for those shapes when you're drawing from an object. It's very helpful. And then I'm just going to continue on and trace all my shapes, and then our next step, we're going to add a line and shape to create design. So now I have my leaves traced, so I'm ready to add design. As you notice, we've used a lot of shape and a lot of line in creating the design. But one of the main principles of design is repetition. So it means that you repeat things. So artists, when they're designing, they think of repetition, repeating color, line, and shape. So that's what I'm going to do in my design. And then I would continue building my design. So I'm going to let you continue with that, and then we'll start adding color. I finished my design work, and as you can see, I added some black markers so that my designs would stand out. Now it's time to add color. So the Japanese maple leaf really inspired me in my design. The color was especially inspiring to me, as was that smoke tree. So I'm going to try to use these colors in my design. Okay, what I like to do is decide my colors and get them all set out before I start my project. And I really look at putting the colors next to each other. I want to have lighter colors next to darker colors, so my design will really stand out. So if you look, these yellow and the gold, there's one lighter, there's one a little darker. Okay, so now I'm ready to start adding color. And you can add more colors if you'd like. We're just learning how to use that principle of design repetition. So I'm focused on repeating my colors. Now it's your turn to continue to add color. That's it for our lesson today. I hope you had fun, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson and learned a lot about the elements of art, line and shape, and that really important principle of design, repetition. And remember, when you're creating art, to relax, have lots of fun, and keep creating.